the story of Prophet Hizqeel. After the death of Prophet Yusha, Prophet Hizqeel succeeded him as the prophet to the Israelites. A long time after the death of Prophet Yusha, the Israelites were now living in Philistine. It was during this time that the plague attacked the village. People started dying everywhere and everyone was scared. Allah did not want the people to leave, yet thousands of people gathered their family and belongings and started fleeing from the village. They were all concerned with only saving themselves. They traveled for many days and eventually settled on top of a plateau. It was then the angel of death called to them, "Die you all." Every one of the survivors perished on that plateau the same day. Many centuries had passed by now, and the place where the survivors died was called Damardan. The plateau was covered with bones of all the dead people. One day, a prophet named Hizqeel was walking through the plateau. He was in shock and surprised to see so many bones lying around. He stood there for a long time, wondering what had happened. Then suddenly there came a voice.
"Do you want me to show you how I bring them back to life?"
asked the voice. "Yes," answered the prophet. His idea was to marvel at the power of Allah. First, the voice commanded Prophet to say these words, "O bones, Allah commands you to gather up." The Prophet said the words as he was ordered. Then the bones started flying out of all directions, and there by the will of Allah, they became skeletons. Then the voice commanded the Prophet to say,
"O bones, it is an order of Allah for you to wear flesh and clothes in which you died in."
The Prophet said this, and suddenly the skeletons got covered in flesh and blood. Then they were covered in clothes. Then the voice asked the Prophet to say these words,
"O resurrected ones, all of you stand up by the command of Allah."
It was a miracle. All of them came back to life. The Prophet could not believe his eyes. There were thousands of people in front of him, all alive, even though they were dead just a few moments ago. Prophet Hizqeel is not mentioned by name, but he is said to be referenced in the Quran in Surah al-Baqarah, verse 243. The reason why Allah was angry is because in an authentic hadith, the Prophet said, "If you hear about an outbreak of plague in a land, do not go to it. But if plague breaks out in a country where you are staying, do not run away from it. Allah is the most wise and knows best." There is not much information on Prophet Hizqeel's story except for this miracle, showing the power of Allah, where he can give life and death when he wills. That is the end of the video. If you have learned something new, make sure to like and subscribe. Take care, brothers and sisters. See you in the next video.